The following podcast contains mature language and adult discussion.
So what's been in the news?
Fuck nothing. That's a problem.
With all the shit this week, you didn't get a chance to put on C-SPAN, I guess.
A bunch of people trying to figure out what's going to happen next. I just realized that the sale of the WWE was actually a Sorkin film.
Twist.
Inception.
Swerves.
Inception. I was on the ninth layer.
You know, we have a live audience this week. I don't want to forget that. We have people here watching.
So I gotta get something off my chest. Right off the bat was
4 minutes in. Go ahead.
When this when it first came out that the WWE had been sold from Vince to the Saudis, it was like people were like, "Oh, I'll never watch him again." Like they actually thought that they were sold to the Saudi government. Like, and so I went ahead and did a little due diligence here, if you call Forbes due diligence, and the name of these it's a public investment fund, and it's the Saudi Arabia's public investment fund.
Yes,
and they have in the last I'd say 2 years they've invested $8.2 billion. Here's a list of some of the companies: BP. $828 million, Boeing, $714 million, Citigroup, $522 million, Facebook, $522 million, Marriott International, $514 million, Walt Disney, $496 million, Cisco, $491, Bank of America, $488, Royal Dutch Shell, $484, Suncor Energy, $481, Carnival, what's Carnival? Anyway,
they have sports assets too. I know.
They've got one of the
golf, right?
Yeah, they've got I think they've got one of the premier teams.
Newcastle United.
Yeah, they're on there.
It's an investment firm. They don't go in and run anything. They invest.
I just the only thing is I just didn't see any sale that was around $5 billion in there. Yeah. You know, it's a public, it's like, there's nothing shady going on. We're not, jumping to another country.
No, so, they hear the name and
well, they had the deal that was cut wasn't it $500 million for 2 shows a year for 10 years? Wasn't that the original deal for the Royal Crown deal?
Right. Oh, I thought it was us. I thought it was our 2 shows for 5 years. No, I said the Saudi Public Investment Fund is it's overseen by the Crown Prince of the country. That's how things are done there. But it's particularly fallen into the news because it coincided with their announcement that they had a desire to expand further into sports and entertainment. And you're talking about WWE being put on the block. They already invest heavily. So I understand why people made the connection, but I started to see, albeit very loose media outlets, sports exclusively media outlets, talking about this like this was to be a done deal last night. I saw.
Oh yeah, no, I mean it was done, except just the paperwork was lagging, basically. Like the terms
That's what they sound like.
Yeah, last night. Yeah. So when I went to bed last night and I thought, "Oh man, like I just didn't see it."
I can't imagine that wouldn't have been tipped off much sooner. I don't think it could have been an 11th hour announcement like that. But we'll get into all that in a little bit. That's, we have plenty of show, as always. And Kyle Michael Fleming responds to last week's stiff one with Bob Holly. He said that got awkward, then awkward level 2. Pretty intense guy is Bob Holly. If anyone missed it, go back and watch episode 27. It was Bob Holly on Ken Anderson in a very detailed, Dahmer-like torture session being described had he gotten his hands on Ken. Hopefully they're good now. I showed that to Ken when he came on U-Shoot, and he was surprised by it. He said, I don't have a problem with Bob, but Bob clearly had a problem with him. The Real Ostrich, thank you, says, this podcast has given me a different perspective of Nash. He genuinely seems like a down-to-earth, likable guy. I always knew the heel was a gimmick, but I didn't expect to keep coming back to the podcast just to hear these guys talk about nothing and everything. Pretty accurate description. Nothing and everything, all at once.
I promise you, if you're a complete asshole, you won't last 30 years in this business.
Well, there have been workers that were assholes, I'm sure, right? That were uncooperative and difficult to promoters.
Yeah.
But were charismatic and box office. The pay window. It's all about the pay window, Daddy. Josh Rutkowski. I asked advice on becoming a dad. It was the episode before T passed. My little man came 2 months early on December 27th at 11:22. Clayton Joseph. I think he tried his hardest to give me a little too sweet. And there it is. The hand.
Nice.
Now, is that up to his wife's breast right there? Go back to that for a minute. That's some can right there.
Easy, Frico.
Or was it the baby's head? Maybe I was resting on his face. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, Josh. Glad we could help.
Easy, Uncle Perv.
Josh Lamont. Tit's a tit, regardless of what's being done with it. Kev's rant on trolls. I don't raise a pussy. I didn't raise a pussy. Thank you. So, Matt giving you a shout out for your explosive
Today is week 12. I lost my boy.
Is it 12? It's 3 months.
Yeah, 12 weeks. Time flies when you got a gun in your mouth. I mean, time flies when you're having fun.
Don't play like that. You have guns, so you can't say those things.
I can do whatever the fuck I want to do, as long as I leave a note.
Okay. While we're here, you were talking to a friend the other day. You were telling me on the phone, right? And I guess you hadn't talked in a while. And they said, "How you doing?" And you said, "I'm doing all right." And they were like, "No. How are you doing?" Is it kind of a knee-jerk thing to go, "I'm all right"? You know, when people say, "Hey, how are you, Kev?" And you go, "I'm all right."
Well, I mean, it's so much easier to say I'm all right than to say, every morning when I wake up, the first thing that happens is I come to the realization that instead of there being 3 human beings in my home, there's now 2. And the third person isn't on vacation or staying at a friend's or just out late. He's never coming back. And then I sit up in the bed and I have absolutely nothing I have to do. And it's like, so why am I getting out of bed? So at this point, now the person would be like, hold on. I think I'm getting a call from my lawyer. So it's just easier. Just, you don't want to know. You don't want to. I don't know. Tyrus sent me a really nice that's on Fox. Used to wrestle with the WWE.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's the NWA champion right now. But he sent me just like a video of him talking, and he just said, he said, I don't know what to say. I've waited to try to come up with something to say to you. We talked about our kids, blah, 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 blah. He says, and and I know it's never going to get any better. And when he said that, it was just like I was like, finally, somebody just fucking gets it. It ain't ever going to get any better. I said that when this first happened. I said, my dad died in '68. It's still, I can picture walking in that room and looking down that hallway and seeing the silhouette of my dad's face in the casket. The feeling in my stomach and in my brain is the exact same, except I'm just a lot wiser. And,
the conundrum is that when people talk to you or see you, I think people don't want to ignore it out of respect, of course, right? You don't want to not address T or what you're going through. And then the other thing is you're also I'll speak for myself. I'm mindful of I don't want to drag you to a bad place. But I don't want to not. Look, I texted you on New Year's. Yeah. And I said, hey, it's just Sunday. I know it's not going to be a happy New Year. Am I going to sit there and wish you a happy New Year? I mean, I could only imagine.
No.
And it is just another Sunday.
Yeah.
And
or the next day was just another Manic Monday.
Well, you wished it was Sunday because that was your fun day.
Yeah. Then now it's just another Manic Monday.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Susanna Hoffs was hot.
She's still kind of hot.
Yeah, I think she probably still is.
I looked her up on Instagram.
Still making music? I see you posting some
yeah, I think she
of her recently.
Yeah.
You know who wrote that, right?
Who?
Prince.
Well, I said I did know that. I saw that somewhere not too long ago.
Big Ben Collinsworth says, what if vaudeville wasn't dead in wrestling? Could it be on hiatus, waiting for a fresh format? What would that look like? I texted this guy. I tweeted a reply to him, and I said, WCW 93. The closest I ever saw to vaudeville. When was the Dungeon of Doom? When were we firmly ensconced in the Dungeon of Doom? Was that 93?
That was WCW.
WCW 93, yeah. I'm feeling. The Yeti? When was the Yeti upon us? Oh, I said 92.
I was like 95, 90. That's right before me and Scott jumped.
Was the Yeti 95?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
I was like, jumping there was like, we had to jump over the Yeti, which was very much like jumping over the shark.
Yeah, he landed in some cold water heading over there. Jennifer Vargo reached out and said, just ordered myself a Kliq This podcast shirt. Female 51-year-old wrestling fan who listens every week. Love singing Kev and the humor and heart in this from Kayfabe Sean and Kevin Nash. Love for T also. All right,
thank you, sweetheart.
Show us which shirt you picked out.
She bought the
it was the podcast one.
Yeah.
The logo. Very good. Very good. Chris Bradford. What's the odds of smoking a blunt at Comic-Con in KC with me? I think he's talking to you.
0.
Keeping it real.
Man, I don't know him. I don't know the fucking laws. I'm 63, man. I'm way too fucking old to be fucking doing 18 months someplace just because we decided to get crazy in KC, brother.
Hey guys, it's the hardcore legend Mick Foley here, and I need to call a quick timeout, a brief timeout, because I wanted to tell your listeners what I have been telling Foley is Pod listeners for a while now about all the cool things happening over on AdFreeShows.com.
We kick off 2023 by going back to 1983 and the debut of the NWA U.S. Heavyweight Championship, commonly referred to as the 10 Pounds of Silver, on an all-new edition of Title Chase.
Overtime has just kind of worn out, and then Magnum TA told me himself that he finally just polished some of the rest of it out because it just had some little bit in the corners or whatever that had hung on, and so he just finished the job.
Our book series continues, and this time we turn to Jim Crockett Promotions. Conrad and David Crockett dive into Jim Crockett Jr.'s handwritten booking logs from January 1985.
So tell us exactly what we're looking at here, the red books.
All right, the red books, I have to tell you, are basically, and I'll hold one up. This is a calendar for a book for 1985.
Yep.
All right, in it, I'm just going to pull a page. Handwritten, the matches, and also the gross of the city, towns that we're in, the matchups. And this is the Bible. It was started with my father.
On January 24th, AdFreeShows is bringing you another premium watch-along event as we celebrate the 35-year anniversary of the very first Royal Rumble. And we're watching it live with the winner of that historic match, Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Oh, hey folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan from the Golden Age of Wrestling. And I'm celebrating the 35th anniversary of my win in the first ever Royal Rumble by watching this Royal Rumble on AdFreeShows.com. Join me January 24th at 9 p.m. AdFreeShows.com. Tough guy, first ever winner. Ho!
That's just a small taste, a sampling, if you will, of what we have waiting for you. With 4 levels to choose from. 4. See for yourself why Ad-Free Shows is the best value in wrestling today. Sign up now, right now, at AdFreeShows.com. Yeah.
Chris Bradford walks up and he's 11. Yeah, Nash. So they tweeted this shot of you and Mick out this week.
No, but this is, I got to tell you this. So this is a show called Hidden Treasures. All right.
Right.
Are you familiar with the show?
Yeah, sure. Where they go to dig up merchandise.
Yeah. So I got a call from the producer, whoever it was, and he's like, "Hey, what do you got, left over from your ring gear, your gear days?" I said, "Nothing. I got nothing." He said, "You got nothing?" I said, "No, man, that's fucking." I said, "I sold the singlets, the pants disintegrated." I said, "I got a pair of boots." I said, "I got a knee brace." And then when I looked around the house, I found those Oz pants, which I have on in this picture. Those are my Oz, the pants that go to the Oz cloak that I gave Conrad, that Conrad gave to somebody else. I gifted Conrad the Oz cape, and Conrad gives it to somebody else. And just kidding.
If I know Conrad, that's not gives it.
Oh, I mean, I'm sure he did well. It's not like you're going to find another Oz gimmick. So the guy that's in there, one of the production guys says, "Hey man, like I know the guy that has this." And I said, "Conrad." He goes, "No." He names his name like Bill somebody. I said, "Well, that's not." He said, so I said, "Oh." So I tweet Conrad. I said, like, wow, man, I gifted you my ass gimmick, and you fucking turn around and like, and and Conrad's such a good fucking guy. Conrad, like you could tell he was actually, oh fuck, I upset Nash. So he put, in my, I got my collecting mode, and I'm embarrassed. I apologize, like really from the heart. And I knew it was from the heart. So I waited like a whole day. And then finally, a day later, I put, well then, in capital letters, fuck you.
I hope he knows you were ribbing.
I don't know. He never said anything back. I thought he would. Nobody waits a day to say fuck you in capital letters. And I thought, he doesn't get my humor. Like, what he is, I mean, it's just like, come on, Conrad. I gave it to you. I mean, I didn't sell it to you. So you wanted to get rid of it? I just want to know what he got for it.
He's probably frantically trying to buy it back for you now.
No.
Next time he runs into you. Here, man. Sorry.
We're fine.
All right, good. So anyway, so they tweet the picture.
Yeah. So they take me out. They say, I won't let anybody use my house. Like, you're not filming shit in my house. So they said, well, we'll get an Airbnb. So they go out. I couldn't have walked to the ocean in 3 days from this house. And so I Zillow it, and it's $1.1 million is what the price of the house is.
Where?
It's in New Smyrna.
Okay.
But not New Smyrna Beach.
Oh.
I mean, fucking nowhere's land. I'm not kidding you. There's not enough real estate in the backyard to put a pool table, let alone a pool. It is the most overpriced piece of shit house I've ever seen in my life.
Is the market that crazy over there?
I don't see, there's nothing over there. I drove for 28 minutes. I mean, you gotta drive 24, 25 minutes to get to one. You see where one is?
Yeah.
Okay. We were like somewhere out. I could hear 95, so we're in between 1 and like close to 95. So we're somewhere like,
Isn't that where the garlic is, or that's on the beach?
No, that's all that shit's on the beach, man.
Okay.
You got to go across the causeways.
The intercoastal, right? Yeah.
The causeways, yeah.
So
and then the beauty of it is if you look, like, see where that inlet is up there?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where that inlet is, that's where my house is.
Mm-hmm.
So not only did I say, could you put it in Daytona Beach, they put it in New Smyrna Beach, so I have to drive all the way from the end of that inlet all the way up to the bridge to come back fucking
all the way down again.
All the way down again. I just like, wow, they're fuckers. So I got in there. So me and Mick just basically did a whole comedy thing, because I walked him out back and I said, hey, let's take a look at and the backyard is absolutely, I wouldn't pay $400,000 for that house. I mean, it's just.
Where did they shoot? What did you use? Inside or outside?
We shot inside, but I don't know how much they'll be able to use, because I just basically just tear into the place the whole time. And I tell I tell them right away, I said, yeah, this isn't my house. This is an Airbnb. I mean, I just, like, there's no way anybody thinks that this is where I ended up my career at, that I had this bad of a career that I ended up in this quartz countertop, builder grade up,
Oh, they're hacking that thing apart.
Oh, the two back bedrooms have carpeting. Come on. Fuck.
I thought carpeting in Florida was a no-no.
Not carpeting. Carpeting, unless it was the Brady Bunch fucking house, was a no-no. Jesus.
But they asked to name, if that was an ad for a cop show, they said, what would be some good titles for it? So I pulled some of the ones I liked here. We could see what we think. Ray Lynn said, Cactus Jackknife.
Hold on. It says Wesley says, I love every week I fully shows. He says, I'm filming a secret project. This is Nash just fucking tells
With a map. You put a map to the secret project.
Fuck it. I am a 1099, damn it.
Fucking A. So you did the Oz pants. What did he do? What did he unearth?
Oh no, he just came. He's the host. The original thing is, he says, I do. I said, first thing out of my mouth is, this: do you know if I was up for host or not? He looked at me like, you're kidding me, right? This is how this is going to be. I'm like,
I love it.
Yep. I'm fucking around the whole time because for what you're paying me, you're lucky I'm fucking here.
So Cactus Jackknife was a good one. Mick This. That was sent in by Greg Mongo Bush. Glad I don't have a Mongo Bush. AG said, I'm going against the intent of this thread, but to be humorous, Mick and Nash sounds 100% like a buddy cop TV show. Mick and Nash. Does kind of sound like one. Simon Weeks, Any Which Way But Loose. Call back to the Clint Eastwood plus orangutan films. I'm guessing he thought you were Clint.
I was thinking the orangutan, but
I'm thinking in the image, I think you'd pass for the Clint role there. Johnny Dallas likes Bango and Nash. Play on Tango and Cash. Ghostwise says Magic Mick.
what about if we were too old, like fucking during the holiday season we're Santas, but the rest of the time we're undercover. Because Mick does the Santa thing,
Or maybe you work as Santas to your capers involve department stores. So you need to be department store Santas to solve the crime.
And we got to hurry up because I think Macy's is dissolving half of theirs this year.
There's a new store closing every week.
Every week, yeah. That's what we're trying to find out why a brick and mortar doesn't work anymore.
Ooh.
And why I can't get up and down the beach road because there's a fucking Amazon truck parked in the middle of it every day. Motherfuckers.
Brokeback Mountain was a suggestion from Edwin Cintron. I'll take a still only of that film, please. I don't need a trailer. Hollywood Omar says we could call it Too Late to Join the NWO. Anyone in the audience here have one? How about anyone in our live audience here? For anyone listening or watching, you can be part of the live audience experience. Once a month we do these. If you join AdFreeShows.com, become a subscriber.
I see B. Arthur as the fucking police chief.
Well, that would be an interesting twist, right? Yeah.
You two
boys.
You two cocksuckers.
You boys find out who's been whacking off in the brassiere aisle of Macy's, or else you'll be directing traffic in Alaska.
Hey, it's not me, B. I'm jerking off in the crotch of your panties.
Exactly. Hold on a minute, I'm all over. Yeah, that'd be a good idea to bring this fucking thing up. But my hand on this keyboard was my
Claws
tech savvy is not what it used to be.
Dom came out with fucking Claws PD.
Claws
like
PD.
Claws PD.
All right, let's see here. Where am I? My camera went off. Now it's back. Okay. You boys. It's 2 hours late, but you boys better get to the bottom of the random masturbator in the junior section. It's not a B. Arthur anyway. It's a much more smoky B. Arthur, I think. You boys better get to the bottom of the masturbator in the junior section, or you'll be giving traffic tickets out in Huntsville to some guy speeding down the road with an Oz cape in the trunk, stolen back for a wrestler.
No matter how you do it, that mouth is just so fucking inviting.
It's hot, even when my voice is coming out.
Yeah, it's Ugh.
You get the chills. Got to get that off.
That's what she said.
Exactly. She could be like the hot police chief. You know, the one that's like banging all the
always showing
powerbomb.
Always showing a little nipple, like through a blouse.
Exactly. Like Ed Asner used to do on Lou Grant. I love that. When a little
anytime you can see a little nipple on him, fuck. Through like the fucking wife beater and the dress shirt, tie over a little bit with a fucking little nipplage. That's when you know that whole Freud thing's fucking spot on.
A little patch of white hair around. Nothing like it. All right, how'd you like to be this guy in Maryland? Okay. This dude named... I didn't get his name here. Oh, I guess maybe they're not releasing the name. I think that's good. I would go for that too. Fucking guy hit 3 $50,000 lottery prizes in, I'll tell you the span, November 19th, placed within weeks, okay? So he placed a $1 bet, hits the November 19th pick 5 with the numbers 15407. All you lunatics out there can run and play that at a 7-Eleven store. Discovers next morning he hits it. Then he goes to claim his prize, gets another ticket, and ends up claiming 2 more 50,000 pick 5s in the month of November. Is this guy just going to step in front of a bus tomorrow and get splattered? The universe has a balance, and that is way out of balance. I mean, good for him.
Yeah, but I have to say at the same time, if there's ever a thunderstorm, I'm going to stand right next to him because his chances to get hit by lightning.
You'd think, but I mean, if there's any balance to the universe, they need to get even. They need to take with all those credits, they need a few debits.
Yeah, I was a Sunoco about, I don't know, 7-8 months ago. This guy said the most I've ever won was $33,000. I think the most I've ever won on a lotto ticket's like $112. Thinking to myself, like, what the fuck? I'm thinking, I was working for Turner. I hit the fucking lotto every 2 weeks.
Yeah. Just work hard instead of buying the ticket. Right?
Yeah. Anyway, there are people, like, there's one thing that I think that the reason people buy, lottery tickets is, to what would you do with it? And you go back and forth. So I was sitting there with my wife the other day, and I bought 5 quick picks for the $1 billion one. Now it flipped again. So the next one, but this will be Fridays. This will be Friday. So this will be after this. The pick will be before this airs.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I told my wife, I said, even if they take half and then take another half, I said, you're going to have $375 million. So with $375 million and a real good chance of China invading Taiwan this summer, the Ukrainian thing just continuing on, the GOP stopping Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, not covering the debt, going into complete depression here. Like, where do you put your money?
Mars.
Fucking, do you buy the WWE? I'm serious. And then on top of that, you have to move someplace like the first thing I would probably do with,
what amount are we talking here again? What was that?
I would say 400 million.
Okay, 400. A mere 400 million.
I'm going to go buy some $800 million high rise in Manhattan. So that way, at least when I go down and get my bulletproof Suburban, so my 3 armed guards to take me to my workout can protect me. What have you done at that point except fucking made yourself and your loved ones all open for kidnapping?
That is true. I do go there. The danger involved.
I
with
always
public
do,
winning
man.
like that. Yeah, I think.
It's just like, I love when these states go, you've got a year, and then we're going to tell the world who it is.
That's true. There are some states that their lotteries require disclosure, public disclosure.
So in other words, you got to go on a methamphetamine bender, or, you know, I was like, what'd you do with the 800 million? I went on a meth bender. I only had 7 days left. I don't.
Yeah, I thought you were going to say we're going to park it in Bitcoin. So I'm just glad you didn't go down that road.
Shit, no, the NFTs are coming back.
I
tell you, I've been looking around my house, and I actually found some classified material today
that you didn't know you had.
Didn't know I had.
Damn it!
No, I must have got it when I was at the nuke site.
Right.
Huh? Okay. You're the president of the United States. For 2 fucking years, they've been having these hearings, and you're running your mouth, and then they send, you know, and of course Biden did turn him, but it doesn't matter. You got a dick in your mouth. He
just spit it out faster.
Exactly. Either way, you got a dick in your mouth. And it's like, as soon as the Mar-a-Lago thing came out, it's like, you don't fucking, but of course you don't, because you're fucking 100, and you go, fuck, I don't know where, do I have anything? I don't know. You've only got 1 fucking office beside your house. Maybe have somebody go through that motherfucker to see if there's any government. I
might have made a phone call. Right, watching that coverage, I might have gone, "Hey, we don't have everything in the file."
At least you don't have to watch Fox News for the next three or 4 months, because that's all they're going to be talking about.
I've seen the story once.
Yeah,
you know what's on every night.
Oh yeah, so
could have World War III out there. They'd be covering. I used to love to do that occasionally, like when shit first started going bad on Trump. Then I'd flip around, get coverage different places. Yes, I'd flip over to Fox, but it was always like, a failed Obama policy coming up again. I'm like, there's a guy sticking a fucking flagpole up someone's ass on the steps of the Capitol. They're talking about the failed Obama policy. It was literally that comical. So then I made it a thing. Whenever some shit would go down and I'd run to the news, I go, what? Let's check Fox. And, sure enough, it was Hunter Biden or something on there.
Hey, real quick, want to give a shout out to James up in Stoneville, North Carolina. He's a friend of the show. Hell, he's a friend of the family now. We were able to go ahead and help his family recently save more than $1,200 a month. Really think about this. My man Robbie didn't save $1,200 one time. He's going to save it each and every month, all because he went to SaveWithConrad.com. He left us a 5-star review earlier this week, and he said this: from the first phone call with Christian, all the hard work Diane put in, Jennifer taking time to explain things and help me understand where we were at with the deal, right up to Steve helping me get this survey through, nothing but professionalism all around. Dealing with First Family has helped us to the point we've cut $1,200 a month off our bills. I can't say enough about the team Conrad has assembled. I highly recommend First Family to anyone looking to purchase or refinance their home. Thanks to Conrad and the entire First Family team. No, thank you, James, for the great review, and congratulations on saving $1,200 a month. And oh, by the way, you can skip your next 2 house payments. It's real, folks. SaveWithConrad.com can help you. We're licensed in more than 40 states, but if you've got credit card debt, if you're looking to save money on your monthly payments, if you're looking to pay your house off faster, or even buy a house with no money down, SaveWithConrad.com is your hookup. Holler if you hear me. That's SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 65084, equal housing lender. And oh, by the way, you don't need perfect credit. You don't need money out of your pocket. What are you waiting for? Find out how much money you can save for free at SaveWithConrad.com.
I was going through everything last night, and let me see if I can find this thing real quick. God, I know I won't, but it was Oh fuck. Our guys will probably it's some guy that talks. He's he was talking about China. He was on Rogan's podcast, saying how they have 10 years until they basically they're just not even going to be a power at all. And you guys know who they're talking about? Yes, this is him. Please, somebody watch that. I mean,
from what were the driving factors? What was it? Population or?
I think that the main thing is for a population to work, it's much like your finances. It's like a pyramid. Like a pyramid is, if it's an inverted pyramid and your birth rate's low, there's nobody that middle consumer group can't produce enough to take care of the older people. Which is and they're saying
Correct.
that their last census that were way off, and when they did that, you could have one kid. I think it's like 1.2 men per woman. So that doesn't work out too well. So, and they said that instead of the Chinese, not them, he said, instead of the Chinese being learning anything, they just memorized. So even though they could go over and grab the conductor chips, but they couldn't produce them because they can't produce them in their own country. They don't produce anything. Technology wise, they haven't done anything in 15 years. And but this is the one that got me, was he said that they're the number one consumer in both food and energy, and that the only person that could possibly fill that gap for them would be us, and we would basically want concessions, much like we got against Germany in 46. So he lays this whole thing down, and I was watching it last night while I was taking a deuce, and I think the clip that they just showed is like 14 minutes long, and that's about all you need. It's
right. Well, I'll check it out in the can later.
Yeah,
I don't spend 14 minutes in there though, but I will.
There it is, the geopolitical analyst.
So for anyone listening, it's geopolitical analyst Peter Zeihan, Zaihan.
And, I mean, so there was I want to think he had, I forget how many, maybe 3.5 million people had watched it. And so then I go to the comments, and there's 299 comments. Every single comment is yeah, that motherfucker, every time he walks out of a room, he says, and there goes the most interesting man in the world. I mean, it's just one troll after another, just dogging this guy. And I was just like, the only thing I know for certain is Joe should have this guy back in a decade. One person said that because I read a couple of these, one of them said that to the date he was on the Ukrainian invasion. But then again, he doesn't have 3 lotto wins in a week either.
This guy Zeihan was?
Yeah, this guy was spot on the Ukrainian situation.
No, I have to look at it.
Yeah, kind of interesting.
Have you traveled have you worked in China?
Yes. I was there for over 100 days shooting that DOA movie.
How did you find it to be?
Shanghai was, very polluted. The metropolitan areas are so polluted. Credible, a sign of wealth is obesity. So, they're heavy. That's why they've got like that guy. When I was watching that thing last night, said that they've got like 7 strains of Coke, and the Chinese vax is the shits, and I mean it's just, you would think that at this point China would just fold, and I guess the dictators just like nobody like he was talking about the intelligence, and he said that the U.S. intelligence is gotten so good that we like basically have the Russian situation where it's like 24 hours. It's like CNN. Like we listen to their shit all day long.
Mm-hmm.
He says when it comes to China, we don't hear anything, and it's not because they're not bugged. It's just nobody talks to that motherfucker.
Right.
He kills you. That was like the thing I saw the other day on Russia, where all these billionaires were just jumping out of windows. It just doesn't seem like something like all these dissidents were jumping out of windows in Russia. Just doesn't seem like something that I don't know.
Well, it's the environment of fear. They like their poison over there in Russia. Your next sip of tea may be your last, that kind of deal here.
Yeah.
Russian dissidents. So, all right. So you've worked in China.
Yeah. I mean, and that's back when Hong Kong was its own fucking vibe.
Right.
Now Hong Kong's fucked.
You travel, yeah, so much. Traveling is so annoying. Do you keep you travel less now, obviously, but
yeah.
I'm not talking about when you were on the road because you were just consistently on the road. It was city to city. But when you're home and then out and then home and then out, like that whole stretch when you were doing signings and Comic-Cons and appearances every weekend, did you just keep a fucking bag packed, or did you have to every week?
Well, because say it's December and if you're going northeast, it's everything's a repack. And if you're OCD, even if underwear are clean and they get mixed with dirty shit, everything gets washed. So
right, with the clothing, yeah, but I mean, do you have a whole thing of travel?
Oh no, I've got a completely different travel bag.
Right.
Everything else is just on my counter at home.
For your toiletries
and all that.
Yeah, I gotta pack again tomorrow, and I'm like, pack.
And that's what people say to me sometimes. They'll be like, you know what, fuck it, man, I'll drive. And they'll be like, it's 413 miles. I said, yeah, it's 413 miles, but I'd rather pack a trunk than a suitcase. I'd rather just throw a fucking pair of sneakers in, a fucking pair, throw my shit in a trunk and just come home and not to go. People will tell me all the time, do you mind flying out of Orlando? I'm like, no, I'm going to fly. I'm going to fly to Daytona Beach. Man, you're gonna lay over. Dude, what's the difference? I would rather go to Atlanta and sit for 90 minutes than drive on I-95 for 90 minutes. Then the only place you can park in Orlando, and I hate to give this information up, but you go to the Hyatt Regency and you valet park. You just valet park your car, and then that way there, when you land a baggage claim, you call and you say, hey, could you have my car, ready for me? And you go right down to the Hyatt Regency and out you go. It's a little pricey, but I don't know. I'm not fucking driving up and down ramps and shit, dragging. Yeah. Not doing it.
That's a good tip.
Yeah.
Just blew that spot up. Tomorrow, the Hyatt's going to be
a
line of cars for the 6 a.m. flight.
As long as you got the cash. And you can also, they'll wash your car, detail it. Sometimes during the summertime, you get the bad bugs. You come over and all that shit's all cleaned off your car when you come back, just to drive home and fuck it up again.
If you try that at the Waldorf, you can go to Bull and Bear maybe. You can get an airport shuttle and
I can go to Rachel's.
have yourself a steak.
Go to Rachel's and get a fur burger.
The packing process now includes my travel size athletic greens pouches, which are small and flat and fit right in my luggage. And then I can continue to take care of myself when I travel. I will be packing them tomorrow. What is Athletic Greens? If you've been listening to this show, you should know what Athletic Greens is. Okay, our next partner is a product I literally use every day. I started taking AG1, which is the Athletic Greens product, for my stomach health, for eating. I was trying to cut down on red meat a little bit, trying to lose the anything fried, just anything that's gonna give me complications as I turn 50 and spiral to the grave. But I found an extra benefit in Athletic Greens because of the energy boost. Okay, I have it first thing in the morning. I have it before my tea, and then I'm rolling. The taste, thank God, the taste is good. Okay, it's a very subtle taste too. It doesn't knock you out, but there's something kind of slightly fruity, tropical about it. And it is 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food sourced superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens that I am consuming when I start my day right with AG1. Okay? Here's what we want you to do. It's the new year, right? It's the new year. So you need a sustainable routine. If you're out there and you're saying, I'm gonna get control of my health, well, right now it is time to reclaim your health. Okay? Arm your immune system with a convenient daily nutritional. I put it right in the water. Okay, you don't even need tea or juice or anything. I put it right in water, and it tastes great. 1 scoop in a cup of water every day. That's it. No need for a million different pills or supplements or anything. So to make it easy, Athletic Greens is going to give you 1 year supply free of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs, the aforementioned, with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/Kliq. Again, that's athleticgreens.com/Kliq to take ownership of your health and pick up the ultimate daily nutritional insurance. Athletic Greens, AG1. It's time for the stiff one of the week. Okay. Now this brings us to Tony Atlas, an old friend of yours, perhaps. Do you work with Tony?
Yes.
Okay. Tony, as you know, and as I talked extensively with him about, has a fetish where he likes to get stepped on and have his face walked on.
By dirty Vans is what you came up with.
I did tell you it was Vans. It is Vans.
Yeah.
And it's a very specific, because he told me, and you guys can find these clips. Well, maybe you can't now because the goddamn KC channel's floating around in space. But he did tell us that because when he was a baby and he'd crawl around the floor and his mother would have people come over the house, the working women would be wearing a sneaker like a Van. So that began to turn him on as a toddler. Listen, I only report it, guys. So here is Tony Atlas getting stiffed like I've never seen before. This is from his Twitter account, I believe. So this is legit. This is not a Tony Atlas impersonator. This is not me doing that. For those of you that listen and don't watch, you should really watch, because I've been using this gimmick where I change my face to be someone else. So when you hear those impressions in the beginning of the show, that's not me just doing a random Vince impression. Okay, so here she is. This is worth you guys watching. And what you hear is a woman punching Tony repeatedly in the face as he lays on the ground. His head is bouncing like a bobblehead as he gets hit.
Is that witchy poo from HR Puffin stuff?
Now, here we go. Now, that's the shoe.
Those aren't Vans.
Happy New Year!
Ooh. Ooh. That's the ugliest man I've seen in a long time hitting Tony.
So, yeah, did you have any fetishes you'd like to reveal here that one might find strange? Other than the ones you've shown us on air weekly here at the Kliq This podcast.
I mean, no, man. I think I like latex. I'm a latex guy. I like latex.
Leather or lace, if a young lady were to dress up.
Leather.
Leather's interesting.
I like somebody that's naughty.
Any desire to be dominated?
Not even in the post.
Not even under the basket, huh?
Nah.
Well, you hear that powerful guys in their private moments, they put on, like heads of companies and CEOs, they wear diapers and get dominated by women in S&M clubs. Not you.
You let my 300-pound ass get on you and pound you for if you don't tap out in an hour, maybe I'll let you, I don't know, pull my hair or something for a second.
You enjoy having anything inserted in your rectum?
Absolutely not. Not even a Q-tip.
Okay.
I don't like wiping my ass.
Right. Let's see. Any locations like public sex, beach?
I mean, growing up in Detroit, I've probably fucked in more cars than you can imagine. But the only thing is come about anything after Halloween. You can't leave you can't.
You got to leave the engine running.
You can't. You leave the engine running, they'll be tapping on the window because the only thing you've got is the windows will ice up on the inside, and when the cop comes, even with the flashlight, they can't see through, which gives because they always want to see your girl. They always want to open the door. Yeah, as soon as she gets dressed, you perv. Then just sit there and have your hog just nice and steam coming off it. You want to put your fucking light on this, huh?
How about this, bitch?
Open the pistol like this and talk to him. What's up, buddy? What am I in trouble for? Indecent exposure in a car you can't see in? Fuck you.
All right, it's Florida Man or Jersey Guy. We talked about rotating some segments. This is a popular segment, but
yeah, it's like Karnak every week.
Kevin said to me on the phone, Carson didn't do Karnak every fucking week. So, all right, so maybe we'll have.
We're gonna come up with something.
Tony Atlas getting a different part of himself pounded by a broad every week.
We can find something that you would put up your ass.
Okay, so
name that shoe.
That's a good one, right? We blindfold Tony.
No, we
have someone step on his face.
We have Tony. Tony sends us clips, and we have to guess I don't know. They look like some kind of a chug-a-lug or some kind of a chug-a-boot, but it could have. I mean, if it was a Bruno Maglia, we would have gotten that.
No, I think that was just like a regular Sketcher type deal, right? That was just
that looked like shoe. Looked a little bit higher.
Well, that would make sense because he would like that. Steve, see if you can find the clip of Tony on YouTube talking about China and China's shoes while we play this game. One headline from
New Jersey. Have to?
One headline from Florida. We got 2 hours to fill. All right, first headline. Ex-con had coke, oxy, and a loaded gun within child's reach in apartment. And
America?
What's that?
America?
Yeah, right. No, it's specifically Florida or
okay.
Or New Jersey. But yeah,
that's the crap. After
that, Portland.
After the 6-year-old came in and blasted his teacher, it's fucking Jesus.
It's some country. And second headline is man drinks bleach in courtroom after being found guilty of armed robbery. Ex-con leaves coke, oxy, and a loaded gun out with the kid, and man drinks bleach in the courtroom after being found guilty.
So the first guy has meth,
coke, Oxy and a
Oxy.
loaded gun.
God, the Oxy's so Florida hillbilly. I got, just because I'm going Oxy with the Florida and
Bleach.
I guess Jersey. These
It
have
sounds
not.
like you want to answer Florida for both.
I don't know how the fuck you would. I don't know. I'm going with what I.
All right, so the Coke Oxy and loaded gun was Hackensack, New Jersey.
Well, I'm wrong again.
Okay, this was there he is, Hassan Coleman.
I was
Looking
gonna say
for
that
babysitting gigs near you.
I was going to say though, they made gun, Coke, and Oxy. That's a little high price for a single wide.
Right, well, this was actually in the lovely Woolworth's residences in downtown Hackensack, the newest apartment building there. Doesn't look to be in a particular... Mr. Coleman was charged with abusing and neglecting the endangered child. 17 charges filed against him. And
so I take it that used to be a Woolworth store that they.
That's what I was thinking. Like, is that how clever, how lack of clever they were? Let's call it the Woolworth.
The old 5 and dime.
Here it is. Jermaine Bell is recovering in hospital after he drank a cup of bleach when he was found guilty in court.
Can't wait to see this motherfucker. Have a shot of him.
Let's see him. If you play that clip down a little, you'll see. He
doesn't look like a fucking bleach drinker.
There he goes. Looks like they're holding a bucket for him so he can drink it, I guess.
Why would he?
I don't know why the officer was helping out there. But the 38-year-old was recorded drinking from a cup that contained bleach immediately after he was taken ill and brought to the hospital.
Yeah, well, I guarantee he wasn't taking the fucking... Yeah, he was taking the emergency, then the psych ward, so... I guess he didn't... Somebody was waiting to fucking shiv him at the other fucking place.
It's just your typical diversionary tactic in court, right? You hear the guilty verdict. You do not want to be processed right away, so drink a little bleach.
Yeah.
And you'll get a day elsewhere.
I like the fact that they put it in a Dixie Riddle cup before he drank it. I thought that...
Did they serve it for him? Did they give him a mixer?
What the fuck is...
For those of you listening, the news footage showed the, I guess it was the court officer, or one of the police officers in court, was holding a bucket next to him, I guess, to spit out. I don't know. It didn't seem like he was being restrained from drinking the bleach, which has an odor, by the way. You'd know if there was a cup of bleach.
Yeah, and I remember even as a kid, they had this probably a 8x10 decal that was in our pantry, stuck on and it had adhesive on one side of it, and it was couldn't write pen or anything. Everything would rub off this thing, but it would give you the different poisons that you could consume and what the protocol was for that poison. I'm almost positive that bleach was not to be re-upped. Like, to vomit bleach means you're burning your shit. And you're doing it's like
twice. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So even the bucket wasn't even helpful.
That was
regurgitate.
But then again, that was Florida, right?
Yes, it was Florida.
So then you got that's where the Florida comes in. There's a fucking guy with a bucket.
Look.
See, if I would have saw that, I would have said, okay, well, here's some fucking metal midget fucking with a bucket going, no, bring it back up, motherfucker. We need that for the inside the room there, the property room there. You're guilty. All of a sudden, the black guy turned into Norm Macdonald.
There was a little bit. I like it. It's about time for Norm to show up. Shit, we've had Vince wearing a head garb. Listen, I want to talk about.
I just
drinking
want to
something.
say that I was no part of the headdress, fucking, and was not cued in. So that's all. That's all. Sean
Oh,
Oliver.
what's a little fun?
You don't get fucking rollies, bitch.
Let me tell you something. We're talking about drinking bleach. Okay?
Yes.
I want something powerful. I want something to hydrate me. Okay, bleach is not going to cut it. But I want to talk about a new sponsor. We do have a new sponsor here, Liquid IV. It's called. Okay, Liquid IV.
Nobody told me about Liquid IV.
I learned about it myself today.
Is this like juicy?
Let me see. This was about an hour before show. They said they introduced me to Liquid IV, for God's sakes. And let me tell you about Liquid IV here. Okay, we're going to talk about hydration. You are an athlete. You are a bodybuilder type, and hydration. I just said this to my wife. I said I don't think we're generally as hydrated as these are the discussions I have now at 50. By the way, for anyone looking out there to under 40. Looking to see what it's like. Yes, I talk about hydration, and they are saying more and more, I'm seeing studies that hydration is a key. So you're supposed to have something like 10 glasses of water a day or something?
You should drink it. I mean, the minimum I drink is a gallon.
That's outrageous. I see people walking around, the jugs are getting bigger and bigger. Like the Playboy Mansion, the jugs are getting bigger and bigger. But anyway, let me tell you about Liquid IV because you're going to love this, okay? It is a category-winning hydration brand fueling your well-being, okay? And their hydration multiplier is the one product that you might be missing in your daily routine, Kevin Nash. In just one stick, you get 5 essential vitamins, 2 times faster hydration than just water alone, okay? Use it first thing in the morning before a workout, when you feel run down after a long night out, long flights.
You're talking about that? It's a packet?
Yes. So the flavors are Concord grape, lemon lime, pina colada, tropical, love me some tropical punch, watermelon, strawberry, passion fruit, guava, acai berry. One stick in 16 ounces of water is going to hydrate you 2 times faster and more efficiently than just water alone. 5 essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks, which you might be having during a workout. Made with premium ingredients, non-GMO, free from gluten, dairy, and soy, Liquid IV is on a mission to change the world. And to date, Liquid IV has donated over 25 million servings in 50-plus countries around the world. How do you get it? You can grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco. Or, we're going to make it easy. You can get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use the code KLIQ, K-L-I-Q, at checkout. That's 20% off anything when you order. All right, shop better hydration today using the promo code KLIQ at liquidiv.com. 20% off.
Can I ask a question since I didn't see the product?
You can ask any question you want.
What's the carbohydrate per serving?
I'm gonna get you that information. Okay. From Liquid IV.
I'm so glad to be a part of this fucking program.
I will show you.
I get bushwhacked by fucking Saudi. I get bushwhacked by Saudi vents. We've
this copy.
We throw out nicotine, which wasn't okayed by me. We decided we're going to throw out a nicotine product, and now we got another product that
which was pitched as a. Well, we could talk about that over. I told you what that was.
Why do we got to talk?
Okay.
Oh,
sorry.
Fuck that.
I was all right. Right. That's true. Full disclosure. Right. I was pitched on a product back in the day as a quitting smoking product. Okay. Which, how do you deny that? And then I got copy and I read the copy and it was one round. We talked about it and it was one round and that was it.
Right.
We're hydrating.
11 grams of carbohydrates.
We're hydrating. You got it?
Dom just sent it to me.
All right. Thank you, Dom. 11 grams. What percentages? That's like infinitesimal.
Depends on what it is.
All right. I know what you really want to talk about. the whirlwind that has been the last 4 days in the WWE's life cycle, from McMahon coming back, touched on this a little before, and the sale, which we touched on a little bit before. It was funny, to me, the layers of reveal of each of these events paints a questionable picture to me. Okay, Vince comes back, and we talked when this happened, and we said, well, what are we going to say? It's getting coverage all over the place. He said he's coming back to facilitate a sale, right? Did you believe that initially?
The thing was, it wasn't only facilitate a sale, but it was to make sure that the stockholders got optimum bang for their buck. And the stock went up like 20%. So I don't.
It was 17% with the announcement of his return.
Yes. So, I mean, and I am a stockholder. So to me, it was just like, okay, if he's just selling and he's driving up the price of the stock, and the thing is, okay, let me just see something real quick. And I'm going to do this loud and be obnoxious.
Okay. Just make sure you lean into that mic when you do it.
I will. No, I'm just going to.
Let me vamp while you do that. Vince McMahon rejoined the board on Friday to begin what he said was a potential sale process for the company. WWE did hire J.P. Morgan to advise
Comcast stock price
on the sale. And as you heard Kevin mention Comcast, it's one of the players.
Right. So Comcast stock doesn't work because it's $37.95. What's the WWE at today? 90?
We can get that. Let's see. Let's check this out. Yeah, 89.50.
Right, and then let's say Disney stock. 90, so 93.33, and then Netflix, which would be
327,
which would be my choice. If I had to sell, I'd go to Netflix. They need to start thinking in a live, something live.
See, that's the thing that for me was the delineating factor in my head when I would hear companies like Disney, Netflix, Comcast. Well, Comcast is kind of a different entity because they're so far reaching. I'm saying to myself, well, okay, streaming, Disney could definitely do well with that. And Netflix, of course, it's got the platform already.
They got ESPN.
Yes.
Disney
owns, right.
At one time, Global Wrestling was on ESPN at 4:00 when I came home.
AWA, too. I used to catch my AWA there. But the live event part of the business, which is still a big part of it, none of these companies have experience managing. And that's a whole other animal.
Okay,
live event and travel.
But you don't need that because what you do is, okay, now let's take the show Wednesday that just came out.
Yes.
So Wednesday, if anybody doesn't know, it's a spinoff of Wednesday, who is the Addams family's daughter. Cathy Zeta-Jones plays Morticia. I can't think of the Spanish actor's name that plays Gomez. And but it's basically based on this young girl. Yeah, Luis Guzman is
love Luis Guzman.
And what's the girl from what's Wednesday's IMDb? The girl that plays her.
The current Wednesday?
Gina Ortega. What's her IMDb, guys? Because it was one a couple days ago.
Oh, her rank.
Yeah, her rank.
Oh.
You're gonna have to have IMDb Pro. If you don't have IMDb Pro, you won't be able to get a rank.
I have it.
But anyway, you got it?
I'll get it.
So I'll just continue with where we're going. Issue number 1. Boom.
That's it.
Number one. Okay. So they go 28 days. They show the show for 28 days. How many hours do you think were watched in 28 days?
Total. So how many episodes were there? Like maybe 8?
6, 8.
All right. So if a
It's
couple
about
of million people watched each episode. So let's say 5 million people watch each episode. So that would be 40 million.
Close. 1.25 billion hours of watched television.
That's amazing.
The only thing that's ever beat it was the season 4 of Stranger Things, which was, and I wrote that down somewhere here. It was.
I didn't think they were getting that kind of action on Netflix.
Is it that?
Stranger Things, I can kind of see that. My kids watch that like mental patients.
Okay, so here, I'm sorry. It was 123 billion for Wednesday, 135 billion for Stranger Things, and then from December 6th to January the 1st, that short period of time, the gimmick about the Prince Harry, that did 22.5 million.
So, all right. So you're saying give me that number again. It was
1.23 billion.
23 billion. Okay, you said 123 billion. I got 1.23 billion. And then Harry was only 22 million.
22
Harry
million.
and Meghan.
But the Dahmer thing was like 900. Oh, in the course
900 million?
900, maybe 920, something like that, million for the same 28-day period. So if you were to take a show and say it's Raw, and Raw runs a beautiful 52 weeks a year, and you take that and you cut that in half, and you still got way more episodes than anything else that you're going to throw on Netflix, and then you take 3 days on each one of those episodes, and you do what we talked about and pick up the production, at least 3 camera shoots, dialogue, and you pick that up, I think that it's a home run. And at the same time, it's not like you can't tour live and do it. Like don't have it. It's you don't run Tulsa. You just run and you're still going to fill the arenas that you need to fill because you need to shoot the actual the program.
So it's the televised cities is what you're going to run.
Yeah.
So you're running a couple of times a week, and plus your pay-per-view, and that would be it. You're saying so you can reduce the reliance on the travel department and the live event department with a company like Netflix because it could use its streaming muscle to make up that revenue.
But and a millionfold.
Mm.
And Wesley's saying you're saying release all the episodes at once. No, you release them at eight episodes at a time. You go eight episodes, then there's 10 weeks off. 8 episodes. You're talking right now that like Wednesday won't be back on for probably 4 to 6 months, probably.
Oh, more than that, probably. Yeah, probably closer to a year. But you're saying that for the wrestling model,
you can give
fans that every 4 weeks.
You can give it 4, 6 weeks, whatever. But I just think it's just an option. It's something to look at, and with those kind of numbers, And they would be the only live, like a sporting event thing that they would have, when you could actually, you could live stream it just as it is and not change it to a show.
They would have to add a live streaming element to it because results would become spoilers based on who's in the audience. So your pay-per-views
What's the difference between some jackass telling you the finish of episode
Wednesday?
Episode 6 what's the difference?
Okay. What do you think about the Disney option when they talked about Disney as a potential buy?
Well, what are you gonna do? Put Steve Austin in a red hat and walk around and flip everybody off? Hell, their ticket sale ain't even as good as Mid-South.
Have you been listening to another podcast?
No, I have not. Doesn't even look anything like a Wendy's ad.
Well, Disney's got the muscle. I mean, of all the companies they mentioned, well, Comcast probably would be. And it makes so much sense. They're already on Peacock. They have the relationship with NBC.
Comcast has got about $163 billion. Disney is where did I put them at? I was amazed at once Murdoch sold Fox Studios, like their cash on hand is not that. They don't have a whole lot of, Fox is only.
Oh, they sold it all. I mean,
they gave up 71 or 70. That sale was 73 million or billion.
I think the only thing they retained was the News Corp, right, which was the news division.
I want to think it's worth 13, 16 tops, something like that.
Right.
I may be wrong, as usual.
So when they talk about Fox as a potential buyer, they're talking about that. They're not talking about the.
Well, Fox has the money to pay that SmackDown. I mean, they can definitely pay for the programming,
but they pay for the rights, sure.
But
sure.
they can't pay for ownership.
Nor are they going to want to. I mean, he divested all of that to narrow the focus of the company and just cash in on the assets. Why is he or the family going to want to run a wrestling company with live events? And I just don't see them going in that direction. They wanted to narrow the focus to news. I mean, they got rid of the entertainment portion of it, the television, 20th Century Fox, and that all went to Disney, which brings us back to Disney. They certainly have the money to do it. I mean, it would be a mere blip on their financial radar, given what they've taken all the Lucasfilm assets and Marvel and Iger is there again. Bob Iger has been installed again, and he was an acquisition junkie.
I never liked that film they did on him, the Iger Sanction.
I'm an Iger fan.
Anyway. I thought it was dry. The guns of Navarro. Now you're talking completely. You Rod Steiger in both those.
What are you drinking there tonight, Kev? What do you got there tonight? Is that an iced tea? No.
No, this is
tea?
This is
sports drink.
It's colostrum. Got a bunch of things. It's for your immune system,
okay.
but they've found out that it also makes your hair grow.
How many carbohydrates are in that, Kev? Did we investigate this before you took a swig there?
6.
Okay. But all right. So these were a lot of the players. There were other players discussed also, right?
Yeah. Well, the other ones were Amazon, Endeavor, Liberty Media, and Endeavor was that's kind of because they bought UFC.
I was gonna say the UFC,
and they kept Dana.
Yeah. There's more companies on the list here: Liberty Media, Warner Brothers, Discovery, Dwayne Johnson's company, Redbird Capital, All Elite Wrestling. Yeah, I doubt that. So, but of all those that we discussed. So it could have been plausible, right? So Vince comes back. He wants to set the market at ease. Stock goes up 17%. He's talking about facilitating a sale. Stockholders get excited. They're going to do better. The acquired company generally does better stock-wise than the purchaser, right? So investors get excited. The stock goes up. Vince says he's not going to, be involved in the day-to-day running of the business. He's there to oversee the sale. Lo and behold, what are we, 4 days after this? That was announced Friday. Then I guess it was Wednesday evening or late afternoon. Stephanie resigns.
Right. Now, if we look back and we do a timeline, Paul had his medical issue.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie bowed out to, of course, be home with her husband and children, and stayed bowed out, and then Vince was basically forced out. Stephanie came back to work to protect the family's assets. You have to have a McMahon in there somewhere. Paul was sick, so now Vince comes back, and Vince's title is a title that's not the same as Stephanie and Nick Khan's.
Right. They call him executive chairman.
Right. So if Stephanie is coing that spot and her father comes in a spot that maybe, I don't know if it's deemed higher, I don't know what, but I know that Stephanie is an amazing, amazing, amazing woman, number one, but just a mom. And their oldest is last time, I saw my Christmas card. I cannot believe that the oldest, I'm not going to say her name because look it up, but I was amazed at, from the last time I saw her, how big she's got. It's not big anymore. She's a lady.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that Stephanie absolutely loved being a mom and being home with those girls. And if they're going to start having some kind of a shit fry 24/7, I don't think fucking Stephanie's going to grab a fucking Chinette and stand in line.
Mm. Yeah, I mean,
nor do I think my buddy will be fucking at any time grabbing a ladle to fucking be helping out the shit show. That's just I haven't talked to anybody. I'm just saying on a personal note.
Not going to happen. I get it.
No.
So, but when Steph goes, that's when Vince is unanimously elected by the board. After her announcement, the company stated in the release, the timing is just curious. Would that have happened without her, quote unquote, out of the way? Would she have blocked? Because that the board voted against his return several months ago. With her and Paul running the company, and Nick running the company. Why suddenly after her removal and a shakeup on the board? This has to have been against her desires. If she was in alignment with Nick, could he have been wanting Vince back? And if they're co-CEOing, Nick and Stephanie.
I mean, I just I'm not saying that I know Vince I do know Vince, and if his ousting at the beginning was done by somebody on that board, he might be. I put it this way: I wouldn't want to be the fucking asshole that decided that he was gonna. I wouldn't want to be the Jordan of the GOP, who's gonna put together all the fucking. I wouldn't want to be that guy.
But the two that were removed from the board, how did the board? They said the board voted unanimously against the return. So that means these two were the most vocal. Why the removal of these specific two? One has to wonder. We'll never know unless somebody talks.
Well, wasn't there two that quit?
After, right? So it was the removal of three and the resignation of two.
The guy that resigned was the guy that was in charge. Was the guy that was in charge of the investigation.
The internal investigation.
So obviously he doesn't like shit up his ass either, because he was about to get fired.
Would Vince have been unanimously elected as executive chairman of the board had he remained the individual of which you speak?
Doubting
that.
I think that fucking that guy knew that he was going to get the Bob Costas fucking treatment. So
smack the script out of his hand. Tell you something, pal.
At this point, I think Vince might smack the fucking taste out of his mouth. I don't think fucking Vince really gives too much of a shit anymore.
So then the rumors of the Saudi Public Investment Fund start. And we've already discussed that and how I understand why it came up, but I wonder how serious any of that was. The people that picked it up and ran with it, I'd have to look to see where it was first reported. They've since taken down.
Wasn't it like DANZ or something like that? Yeah, DAZN was. I don't know if that was. Is that Danzig's fucking?
Is Glenn Danzig involved in any way?
Hold on.
So what do you think is going to happen? Where do you think it's going to end? Is a sale going to happen, or now with Stephanie out, with Vince as the executive chairman of the board and a very Vince friendly board, George Berrios added back and or added to the board, I should say. Do we just keep rolling here? Does the talk of a sale fade into the wind, and hopefully the short memory of the investors that drove up the stock 17%? Don't question it.
I just don't. I think it has to play out. To have that much movement in 4 days, I mean, it was like watching a 30-second clip of Stratego.
It's true. In fast motion, a Stratego game in fast motion.
But the only thing is, every other piece was the bomb. You know, it was like, what the fuck? But I put it this way, the wrestling industry is a little bit down. When the most exciting wrestling show is the one that's going on right now that we're talking about. I mean, that's
the outside the ring.
But at the same token, there's $18 million, which is an all-time high for revenue of tickets sold for WrestleMania in LA, with not a single match fucking given.
Well, it's becoming
you got to realize, man, ticket sales are down. They are. Ticket sales are down.
Well, WrestleMania is an event. WrestleMania is a rite of passage for many wrestling fans. They want to be a part of it no matter what.
If fucking it's the highest sales ever and there's not even a main event, come on.
Well, again, that's WrestleMania.
Anybody that knows, man. You're going to it's an event. I was sitting there with my wife the other night. We were watching the national championship game.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to her, see that fucking, watch the game on the screen on top of the fucking gimmick. She says, what? I said, yeah, watch the big screen on TV. She said, why would I do that? I said, that's what you fucking see when you go to WrestleMania. Because the rings fucking 22 by 22, wherever the fuck it is. It's in the middle of that motherfucker. And unless you're,
You're watching the big screen.
Unless you're in the Beyonce seats, you're fucking watching the big screen. So.
Well, it'll be interesting to watch it play out. I don't purport to have answers.
I sat there. Remember when they stopped allowing the talent to drink at WrestleMania? That was after after the Orlando one, when Boggs and a couple of us got fucking hammered. Sorry, Boggs, to throw you under the bus, but you were fucking funny as hell. My son came home that night. He goes, "Man, Boggs was fucked up." My son was like 8. So I sat there and I'm not going to Hall of Fame female and myself found a cranny and hit a little bit of the cannabis. And man, it was sativa and it kicked in. I just sat there and I'm down in like the bowels of some, sitting on a fucking banquet chair with my spine going fucking numb, watching this. And all of a sudden, man, that buzz kicked in. I'm just like, this is like Cirque du Soleil. It's like Broadway. It's like the Super Bowl. There's so much absolute, just spectacular. The pyros, first class. Everything is, the production, the stories are tight, the athleticism. And I just sat there, I said, people say that this is going to be gone in 10 years. I said, this will never be gone. This is as Americana as a fucking pool table.
It just changes form.
So, but it's so, and if you've never been to a WrestleMania, man, save your fucking money up and go. Because it is fucking, it's pretty spectacular. And there's not better people watching on earth.
Provided you don't mind watching the screens for 4 hours, you took.
But if you're going to go, fucking go.
Get better seats.
Hell yeah. And don't forget to fucking wear. Nothing looks better on TV than that fucking black and white NWO shirt. I'm telling you, fucking now.
The exception of a Kliq This shirt.
Either one. As long as I'm getting.
It's a sporting event, which will be on tonight, will be my valiant Dallas Cowboys in their wild card fight.
Oh, against my Brady-led Buccaneers.
Well, by default, you're a 3-1-3 forever, right? So
I gotta go Michigan,
right? So, but in the absence of your Lions, your Bucks. Let's look at the spread here. Let's do some live. Let's do a little wagering here between you and I.
Are we doing this on DraftKings?
Well, yeah. Everyone at home can play along on DraftKings as well.
Okay.
The NFL playoff action continues, one step closer to the Super Bowl. This is Super Bowl 57. Can you freaking believe that, by the way? Jesus Christ. What was the first Super Bowl you watched?
3.
So you watched 3?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I watched 3. Wasn't 3 Jets, Baltimore?
Baltimore, right? Yeah. 69 or 70? 69?
Yeah.
I think it was 69, yeah.
That was my first one. I didn't see either of the first 2.
But, all right, so here, let's see what the line is. Can we get a little action here? Let me tell everyone as I bring up the very app that I'm talking about here. We're getting ready for the NFL divisional round. Check out DraftKings Sportsbook, official sports betting partner of the NFL. New customers can bet just $5 and you get $200 in free bets instantly. I did that when I signed up, and those $200 lasted me a long time.
2 days.
Let's see. You burned through in 2 days. Well, I try to keep my wagers around between 25 and 50.
I bet 200 first day.
All right, so tonight,
What my house money? Fuck it.
January, that's true. Playing with the bookies' money, right? Playing with DraftKings money. So tonight, we are looking at the 8:15 kickoff. So Dallas is giving 2.5. I'm pretty comfortable with that. Let me tell you. I'm pretty comfortable with giving the 2.5. You know, all new and existing customers can get a shot at an even bigger payout with the DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. You boost your NFL winnings with each leg you add up to 100% on your parlays, baby. So I like to play some player action too. I don't want.
Hold on a second, right now. You're telling me DraftKings has got the Cowboys giving 2.5.
I'm at 2.5 right now.
My fucking bookie's giving me Cowboys -3.
My over-under right now is, well, you need to be on DraftKings. The over-under 45.5 I'm looking at. So I'm going to take my Cowboys, all right? We're going to do this live.
All right,
I'm
going to take,
I'm putting it in.
Fuck. That sucks for, it's not enough points. I'm going with the GOAT.
All right, so you'll be with Tampa and Tom. Are you doing a parlay? I'm going to do Dallas. I'm not going to touch the over-under, but I am going to say that Ezekiel Elliott will find the end zone. Okay. My odds are up to a plus 240, and I'm going to add a couple of more pieces of this.
How about, can I put Evans finds the end zone?
You want to put Mike Evans finding the end zone?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I also
we're at a plus 850 right now.
All right, then I'm gonna have Disney finding Elmo.
Finding Nemo.
Nemo, fuck.
Yes.
I blew it.
Or Finding Vince.
Who's finding Nemo?
Exactly.
Who's finding that damn Stone Cold Steve Austin flipping out everybody down there in Magic Kingdom? What the fuck's gonna happen? Get Bill Watson there.
Bill Watts. All right, I'm going to throw one receiving prop in there, too. I'm going to say CeeDee Lamb will get 75 yards. Okay, now here's my ticket. Here's my actual ticket. You can see this here. Cowboys. All right, where am I here? All right, Cowboys minus the 2.5. Zeke getting a touchdown. We put Mike Evans, that's Kev's, and 75 yards for CeeDee Lamb. Now I'm gonna wager 25, and there's the potential payout on a $25 wager. What the hell am I looking at here, for Christ's sake?
3.25?
3.25. All right, can't go. Let's see if we went up to 50. That would of course increase to 750. What do you think, Kev?
Let's go. I'll
do it.
With you.
Here it
I'll
is.
split with you.
Boom. Bet placed. DraftKings. Only in DraftKings can you have so much fun and action. It's not only the NFL, guys. You can do this with UFC. You can do it with hockey. You can do it with baseball when it starts. Okay, and here's what I need you to do. Go download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use code TKNP, the Kevin Nash Podcast. All right? And then your new customer, you can get $5. You bet $5 on an NFL divisional round. You're going to get 200 in free bets instantly. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code TKNP. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See the show notes for additional details. Thank you, DraftKings. Steve, this is the recorded commercial insertion. Actually, they have to recheck location here. That's the crazy thing about this. When you're, I have my Wi-Fi off, and it couldn't validate that I was in a state with legal gambling, for God's sakes. So recheck. Here we go. We're going to come back and I'll do the Hellofresh. Kevin, I literally, before we went on the air, saw that liquid IV. I had to go on.
No, I'm not fine. I'm just fucking with you.
The way it was typed, I had to go on to confirm that it wasn't what liquid for.
So what's the fresh thing came today, right?
I didn't get mine.
I got mine. My wife likes that product and was thinking, and she wants to get our code.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm going to read it right now. So
all right,
jot it down.
All right. Are you going to read it right now?
Yeah, I'm going to do it now.
Okay.
Let me just drink. How's everyone doing in the live audience? You hanging with us? You still here? Take that as a yes.
I don't see anybody say anything.
Who's here?
Bueller?
Steve, everyone here still?
Bueller?
All right. Oh, you must be with Optimum. Verizon's the way to go.
They suck in your knob?
That'd be pleasurable. All right. I'll count it in, Steve. 3, 2. All right. Hellofresh joining us here on the Kliq This podcast. What is Hellofresh? Okay, guys. With Hellofresh, you're getting farm fresh, pre-portioned ingredients and seasonal recipes delivered right to your doorstep. Okay, you can skip trips to the grocery store. Count on Hellofresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable. That's why it's America's #1 meal kit. And there's others out there. I've used others. I'm loving my Hellofresh right now, okay? If you're looking for an easy way to eat and save money this year, this is it. Cut back on expenses with takeout and delivery. Get started with HelloFresh. You'll love how fast, easy, and affordable it is to whip up restaurant-quality meals right there in your kitchen. They have fast and fresh recipes, okay? HelloFresh's latest line of meals features robust flavors, filling portions, and they're ready in less than, drumroll please, 15 minutes. Enjoy taste and quality done quick with recipes like falafel power bowls, seared steak and potatoes with béarnaise sauce, and Southwest pork and bean burritos. How about this? We're talking football when it's time for the game. Homegate, okay? Like a pro, with a limited time winning assortment of snacks, appetizers, and shareable sweets available at HelloFresh Market. Treat friends and fans to delicious barbecue baby back ribs, chocolate chip brownies, and everything in between, okay? I want you to go to HelloFresh.com/Kliq22, Kliq 22, because, listen to this, Kevin, and thank you for arranging this. When you use the code Kliq22, you get 22 free meals. Can you believe that?
What?
Yeah, I swear. HelloFresh.com/Kliq22. You're getting 22 free meals plus free shipping. You kidding me? This is ridiculous.
This is so I have to throw in. So before I came here tonight, mine came to the door, and my wife was ecstatic, and she said to me, she goes, "Make sure you give me the code." Well, you said it so fast. I'll just get it to you when the show's over. But this is something that she's been wanting to try, and lo and behold, we got it at the door today. And she looked at it. She went over and she was very impressed.
Yeah.
We also got meals. I think we got 3 meals that served 3 people or 4 people, and we got 5 pork chops and 5 chicken breasts.
Amazing. This could be you two talking about this out there. So you're going to go to, I'll say it slowly so Kevin can write it, HelloFresh.com/Kliq22, baby. Kliq 22. And use the code when they ask you, Kliq22. 22 free meals plus free shipping. Can't beat it. Thank you, HelloFresh, for joining the podcast.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for making my wife happy, and it didn't cost me a damn dime.
Not only that, it's not going to, next 22 times, it's not going to cost you a dime either. All right, Ask Nash, #AskNash. This is how you can get access to Kevin Nash. It's not easy to get access to Kevin Nash. You know, Kevin, I get emails all the time. People asking me to have you on podcasts. I don't bother to send them to you or reply. But I know it's very hard to get to Kevin Nash. So this is the way to do it. #AskNash. And those of you,
I can barely keep it together for this for every week. You think
talking to one schmuck for 2 hours is enough to add 2 or 3
Hey, my buddy,
to the list.
This is my therapy. This is my Wednesday therapy.
I'm happy to hear that. And those of you in the room, please send us your questions as well here you can be part of a live audience if you join ad-free show. All right, Mr. Universe Wide says, listening to the format of Raw podcast and issues with the current presentation. How do you feel about a guy's intro music playing as he's doing a run-in to help his friend cheat in a match? It's stupid, right? Just run out and don't hip the sound guy.
It's overproduced.
Yeah. Slovakia 99. Sean, or maybe even Kevin, do you have some stories with cheap Jew son of a bitch Eric Sims? And that's not me editorializing. That was the question. And of course, that's Kaz's.
What do you mean, even Kevin? Like,
well,
I don't have them.
Well, I think people know that I've had to deal with Eric. Does he? Eric doesn't book you, does he?
Oh God! So he books me, Scott, and X-Pac. Sean Waltman will verify this story, and you know how he micromanages everything. I mean, if it's a 22-minute drive, you're leaving an hour and 45 minutes to get there.
I love him,
and
he's a producer's dream.
I mean, it's just like fuck, and I didn't realize. A lot of times, like, people don't realize that I'm fucking around. They just think I'm just fucking out of my mind. And he ended up at the end of this like 4-day loop with us. He ended up getting Bell's palsy. And he fucking told everybody that I gave him Bell's palsy.
His nerves.
Yeah, I drove him insane. He recovered, but fucking that's yeah.
I remember you calling me one time, a long time ago, when we were doing the shoot videos and stuff. And I wasn't even using you, I don't think, but you were, I guess Eric was booking you. And you called me out of the blue. I hadn't talked to you in hell. You're like, can you help me out with this fucking guy up there and get me into the fucking state the right way? I was like, well, hey, Kev, how you doing? What's wrong? It's like, got me flying out of fucking Daytona. I'm not in first fucking class. He can't confirm that it's not a 4-star fucking hotel that I can get room service past midnight. Doesn't he know how to do this shit? I was like, I'll look at it. He's like, your quote was, this was great. I said, all right. He's probably lost in details. And you go, you know how like when we shoot shit, you got like 10 people and a green screen and the cameras and you're in charge? He's not in fucking charge. So I called Eric. I said, Eric, you're not in charge. I don't know what this guy wants me to do. Everything I do, there's another phone call. Everything I do, something's wrong. It's not good enough. Nothing's good enough. The hotel's not good enough. The food's not good enough. How's the payday? Is that going to be good enough, Eric?
Never.
Well, for him.
Eric, envelope's a little light.
Envelope's a little light. Yeah, that was an Eric booking.
Oh, fuck. And that's the thing, too, is just like, dude, nobody fucking stays at a Comfort Inn unless they have a fucking, like, some kind of fetish for laying in pubic hair. I mean, Jesus, dude. Like, no, man.
Some kind of egg or waffle.
No, I'm not going downstairs and eating
eggs. The continental breakfast.
Yeah, the fucking scrambled. Oh, Jesus.
We have a live question. Who's ready for a question here in the audience? I'm sure somebody here would like to get in. Zoa Lopez, looking forward to meeting you in KC at Planet Comic-Con in March. You able to partake in barbecue? And if so, any preference from KC? Gift card idea to provide. You a barbecue fan? How many carbohydrates in the ribs?
Depends if they're dry rubbed or fucking. So
Zoel will be seeing you and maybe.
Yeah, but the thing is, I'll just, if you come by my table, you're not gonna believe it. I'm very approachable, and you can talk to me. And
He'll be in a good mood. He'll be in the right hotel with
Yeah,
late night room
Yeah,
service.
because I'll be going with primetime appearances, and they won't fuck around. I'm going with pros. I've cut out the Tulsa toy store middleman in my life.
Boy, the rub they've gotten. Holy shit. I hope they're riding the wave somehow.
Yeah, they're
Nashville,
riding the
like
wave.
Little Caesars is.
Hey, yeah, come on, Little Caesars, pick up an ad. I saw the latest one where you got a round pizza, and you got half of it cut in pizza slices, and the other half of the pizza's cut in squares. What the fuck's with that? They didn't have that when I was a kid.
That's the Kliq This pie. That's
Yeah,
the debate.
exactly. That's the fucking. Which one's the Detroit side?
Debuting as Diesel, do you have any other good memories or stories that happened in my home state capital? Albany?
Albany.
Any interesting stuff?
Steve's up at Albany, isn't he? I've done a couple of good signings with Steve up at Albany. Brian's up there. You got a couple of my guys that I do signings.
Steve who? Austin?
No, just guys. Just guys I work with.
Bookers.
Yeah.
Or promoters. Greg Bandalik. Love the show. Never thought I'd see David O. Russell and Tatanka as co-winners of, well, anything. Rank the power bombs, Nash. Nash, Hall, Sid, Taker, Batista. Each had his own style, no? What do you think of that list? Bring that list up again one more time for Kev there to go down. Nash, Hall, Sid, Taker, and Batista.
I didn't know that Hall used a power bomb.
Yeah, the Razor's Edge wasn't exactly a power bomb.
No. Batista's was. I always thought that was the roughest one because Dave actually took a bump doing it. Like you flip the guy up and then you go down and you take that ass bump with the guy. The rest of us just flipped the guy up. Taker did that. I mean, we all had different. Like Taker did it where he pulled the guy up, but Taker's and mine were very, I think, safe. Unless you're Big Show, I dropped him on his fucking bean, but.
Now, Sid
was a little stiff.
Mm-hmm. Especially if you had a Hell in the Cell, a War Games cage above.
Sid was but I don't think he was, I mean, he wasn't as ruthless as Vader was with job guys.
Right. Okay. We have another question from the audience here. Question from the house. David Van Bogelen question. Kev, what are 4 films every American should watch? Strictly Americans, huh?
Okay. Requiem for a Dream.
If you're from Canada, you cannot watch these. Along Came Polly.
World According to Garp.
Wow, there's a dark horse.
Forrest Gump. JFK. Just throwing them out there.
Okay.
There's so many. I tell you one that does not hold up is fucking Al Pacino in Cruisin'. I just watched that about 4 nights ago.
He was great.
It was okay. I watched the motherfucker and I'm like, so he got the wrong. It was like, it's a shit show. But what's really great is he goes in to buy, like he goes and sees the different bandanas in the guy's pockets. And hey, if yellow, if I can put in this pocket, you take shower, you give the guy that's selling the fucking bandanas is Powers Booth.
Oh, you see, I forgot that. Wow.
Little cameo. There's a couple And then the guy that comes to the door that had the ginger, that his roommate, when he starts cruising down the hall, it's the cat that was in the the Nolte Murphy movie.
48 Hours.
Yeah, he's in that, and he's it's like that same cat that was also in Sex and the City. This has got to be this guy's first movie. This guy looks like he's 18 in it.
Cruisin was a bold film for the time. I think it was like 71 or 72.
I remember there's a scene where like a guy's like in a stirrup getting fisted.
Okay.
In a bar, and I remember like that in my mind. I remember it. It was very Hitchcockian because they didn't show it.
But they
I
didn't
just
need to. Your imagination did the work.
I was like, okay.
Very good, Adam Wood. Would Kevin want to be involved in a movie where he's partners with Joe Mangella? Is this real? Are you getting an offer right here? Taking down drug dealers and hunting the city for the top criminal?
I love Joe. I do anything. Love to do
Okay.
a movie with Joe.
So it sounds like a yes. Send all offers to Noel. Preston.
I don't know about us being fucking undercover though. Joe's 6'5".
Well, yeah, in the NBA locker room, you guys are walking around.
Yeah, okay.
Being indiscreet, being discreet. Oh, Preston Portogallo, clearly Jewish. Enjoyed meeting you at Steel City Con 4 times and had great conversations. My question is, do you plan on coming back?
I don't. As of right now, I'm not booked to come back.
So it's a possibility. Depends on what hotel he's going to be put in. And
we always stay at that. I think it's a Marriott right next to the convention center.
All right. How about anything from the audience here? I don't want to neglect a soul who showed up and watched the taping. David, again, Kev, you joked about your last match being a fucking ladder match with Triple H. If you had your choice, what would your final match have been, and who would your opponent be?
I think that that spin a wheel and make the deal was done so perfectly. Except I just thought that coal miner's glove on a pole just wasn't. They just didn't use the same psychology I would have. So coal miner's. I'm thinking a coal miner's glove in a coal miner's daughter's ass match.
But you don't show it. It's the Hitchcock. It's the off-the-screen
absolutely
insertion.
And it's almost like Sword in the Stone, where you just can't get that fucking glove out of her ass. Then finally a small kid like climbs into the ring and climbs up and pulls it out, and that's how we go off the air, and they drop confetti.
Well, we came out hot and we finished hotter, folks. Proud to remind everyone that Kliq This is a production of Butch and Sundance Media, produced in association with Podcast Seat, created by Tristan Nash, Kevin Nash, and Sean Oliver, producer Steve Kaufman, graphics by Dominic D'Angelo, title sequence and audio edit by Wesley Burleson, theme song by Dale Oliver, technical research by Tristan Nash, copyright 2023 Butch and Sundance Media. Kev, you want to do another one?
Oh, by the way, if anybody's looking, Netflix is not where you're going to find Cruisin'. It's actually, you got to go on HBO Max and go to the C's, like the little magnifying glass, and just press CR and you'll see Cruisin' pop up.
Did you search that out? Were you like, I need a little?
No, I wanted to watch something that I hadn't seen in a very long time. And then I saw it and I just kind of went like, oh. And then as I went on, I went like, God, like I kind of remember and if you think about it, I bet you that movie was probably around maybe Dirty Harry 2. Like that same, it kind of has that same vibe to it, that
gritty, New York story. Where did Dirty Harry take place?
Dirty Harry was San Francisco.
San Francisco. I'm thinking of Death Wish. Death Wish was New York, right?
But I don't know what the time, but just some cinema from that, like I watched The French Connection maybe 3 months ago. It's still good, but it's just there's something.
It feels out of place at a time a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I think that Michael Bay has destroyed a car chase in any other movie.
Mm.
Not that it's a bad thing.
Oh, good point. Well, thank you, everybody, for coming. Thank you to our live audience. Please join us again next month in February when we do this. And everybody else can do the same thing. Go to AdFreeShows.com and make sure you join us later this month for our watch-along of Kevin and Sean's match.
And also, if you get a chance, go on our Twitter page and go ahead and put who you think is going to purchase the WWE, and go ahead and put your guesses for the winning Powerball, and we'll see how many of those all coincide over the next week.
Whichever happens first, we get a Powerball winner or WWE sold.
Exactly.
We'll see who nails it. All right. Thank you, America and beyond.
Peace.